Bulavinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rock.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavenga Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, $70 million for Lami Nausori road upgrades. FTUC march aims to be peaceful. And ATS management maintains staff not locked out.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Smith.
A massive budget of around $70 million has been allocated to upgrade and expand roads and roundabouts in the Lami Nausori corridor. Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama says this will only be done in these areas as 1/3 of Fiji's population reside here. But this does not mean other areas will be neglected. Anna Ravulo with this report.
The Prime Minister says they are committed to building the foundation of road infrastructure. Therefore, they have allocated millions of dollars for various areas.
We've set aside $9.5 million to construct footpaths to allow Fijians to walk safely about their communities, and about $4.5 million to construct streetlights in Wenbokasi, Wudi, Nandera, Nandawa, Nasinum, Dobuilebu, Kalokalo, and Crescent Road.
Bainimarama says that they are not only building for this generation.
My government is here to ensure that we build for the future, so that we cannot only celebrate a job well done today, but we can rest easy knowing that we did not settle for quick fixes, but that we build schools that are worthy of the children who call them home, roads that can be depended on, rain or shine, and networks of infrastructure.
The Prime Minister adds that they've also budgeted $31 million this financial year towards replacing 16 critical bridges around Fiji, with another 30 planned to be replaced over the next 5 years. Anna Ravulo, FBC News.
The Fiji Trades Union Congress march organised for tomorrow will be peaceful. This has been emphasised by FTUC General Secretary Felix Anthony, adding they also expect a huge crowd. Police Commissioner Siti Veningilio is reminding those taking part in the march to follow the conditions of the permit. Felipe Naikaso has more.
The FTUC is expecting close to 3,000 people to march through Nadi town tomorrow in support of ATS workers who are still in a deadlock with its management.
But as I've said, we've received support from a cross-section of our community, includes church leaders, includes landowners, includes the chiefs, includes political parties, includes all trade unions. We're expecting NGOs as well, the women's rights movement. So we're expecting a good number tomorrow.
Anthony adds they will play their part to make sure the conditions of the permit are followed.
I'm surprised that the Commissioner should expect me to do his job in ensuring that no one does anything wrong. I believe that if someone does anything outside the law, the police need to act on those things.
Meanwhile, ATS acting CEO Hari Mane is wishing the marchers all the very best.
The march tomorrow shows that we live in a very democratic society. And all I can do is wish the marchers all the very best.
Police Commissioner Brigadier General Siti Veningilio last night met with his officers in Nadi, where he was briefed about the approach that will be taken during the march. Gilio says he's happy with the concept of operations set by his officers. A team from Silver's Police Special Response Unit will also be deployed to ensure the march is incident-free. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Teachers around the country are being urged to think twice before taking part in the Fiji Trades Union Congress March in Nadi tomorrow. This follows a call made by the Fiji Teachers Union for its members to join the march. Education Minister Aya Said Kayum says teachers should focus more on educating the future generation. Kelly Vadalo reports.
We found a lot of
Teachers are being urged not to get influenced by politicians or unions who are encouraging them to be part of the FTUC march tomorrow that's in support of the ATS workers on strike.
I would urge all teachers to please look at the reforms that they've had. And I've also seen a memo by Agni Deo Singh. I would urge them to look at the big picture and do not get caught up in this politicization.
Fiji Teachers Union General Secretary Agni Deo Singh confirms they've sent emails, made calls and visited schools, urging teachers to support the march tomorrow.
Fiji Teachers Union has called upon its members to come and join the march, and we are hoping that they will turn up in numbers tomorrow to provide this solidarity support. This is nothing about politics. This is nothing about being against anybody or the government.
Singh adds they have about 5,000 members and is an affiliate of the FTUC, which is only right for FTU to show their support during such times. Meanwhile, Education Minister Ayaz Said Qayyum says government has more investment plans in the pipeline for the ministry.
So I'd urge all teachers to please stay away from people who want to use you. Let's focus on the education system, education of our children.
Said Qayyum adds with schools starting on Monday, many parents and their children will be busy using the next 2 days doing their last-minute back-to-school shopping and also looking forward to seeing teachers back in classes. Kelly Badala, FBC News.
More than 550 Fijians underwent amputations last year. Health Minister Rosie Akbar says they're waging a war on the NCD crisis and every Fijian needs to be aware of their lifestyle choices and their effects. The minister also revealed the youngest NCD victim who suffers from diabetes at the age of 3. Maggie Boyle reports.
Launching the annual Courts and Sports World Fitness promotion in Suva today, the Health Minister elaborated on the enormity of the NCD battle.
That last year a total of 587 amputations were done, and these amputations refers to the amputations that resulted from diabetes, injuries, road accidents, just to name a few. Ladies and gentlemen, good health is the choice we make for ourselves.
Akbar says this is costing our economy millions of dollars.
Assisted 106 patients in accessing overseas treatment, and this included those in need of highly risk cardiac surgeries. We spent close to $1 million to send these patients for overseas.
Reiterating the need for more awareness, the Health Ministry is using its corporate partners to strengthen its efforts.
The objectives of the promotion is twofold. One is to create awareness, to make the people realize that NCDs can be avoided by making the right choices. And secondly, encourage people to take regular medical tests for early detection of the onset of NCD.
National Director for NCD, Dr. Ismaili Tokana, says continuing to hammer on the message year in, year out is affecting change.
That corporate services are actually buying from equipment, gym equipment, so as to promote and intensify physical activity.
According to the WHO, 38 million people die from NCD-related illnesses, with 28 million deaths occurring in low- and middle-income countries. In Fiji, the prevalence of NCDs is among the highest in the region. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
The Federated Airlines Staff Association, commonly known as FASA, has given the mandate to SODELPA to speak on their behalf. However, Attorney General and Minister for Civil Aviation Ayaz Said Qayyum says this reeks of political ploy when employees' grievances are being handled by a political party. Ali Kimbia with the story.
The air terminal services workers who are still on strike have turned to SODELPA to raise their grievances through an alleged breach report provided by FASA.
I have been given the mandate on behalf of the FASA, which is the Federated Airlines Services Association, to speak now to basically present what is contained in a report that has been released to the stakeholders about the breaches that have occurred at the airport as a result of the lockout.
Civil Aviation Minister Ayaz Said Qayyum questioned the credibility of the report, saying issues will be escalated if raised by a political party.
We need to ensure that whether these reports are verifiable or not. It is of course quite tragic that a supposed employee grievance is now being handled by a political party. which of course everybody knows that this is an election year, so it will get escalated at a political level, and we'll actually get more into the space of fiction as opposed to facts.
Reports have surfaced about damages being done to an Air New Zealand aircraft in which SODELPA alleged that it was due to unqualified people working. However, Syed Kayum says the damage report is true, but unqualified people working is not the case.
There was damage to the Air New Zealand flight, and it wasn't reported till they reached Auckland. And so, this may lead to even New Zealand stopping incoming flights.
But Air New Zealand actually claimed that it was not as a result of that. That Air New Zealand said that the person who was driving the machine that was offloading was in fact a qualified person. So it was not as a result of some unqualified person driving.
Syed Kayum says the ATS strike should not be used as a political agenda. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Still to come, AG says democracy is about more than just elections. And more opportunities for young entrepreneurs. Stay with us.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Uti kombinasyon mo tikola ndo talita kana Radio Fiji 1 kina Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuyaga sila tale, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gitu pinasabali, nagudurong varorong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na ponga ni BNN.
Attorney General Ayaz Syed Kayum says democracy is not only about having the general elections. Syed Kayum says the culture of democracy must be engendered at all levels. Ritika Pratap reports.
Attorney General Ayaz Syed Kayum says various organizations and associations do not follow democratic processes while electing members.
The best, of course, are the trade unions. Complete lack of democracy in the way in they conduct the elections. Many actually have been resistant to these electoral commissioners and the supervisor of elections conducting elections for them.
Syed Kayum gave examples of trade union elections where there has been a lack of transparency.
The way that the elections were conducted, for example, in the Fiji Public Servants Association elections, was that the General Secretary, even though he may be running for the elections, was the one who kept the ballot boxes. How ridiculous is that? It's like asking those people who will be conducting, who will be candidates for the 2018 elections, they'll keep the ballot boxes at their house. We've never imagined that. But how can we actually let it happen in trade union elections?
The minister responsible for elections says similar issue was faced while electing members for the Parent Teacher Association.
The moment government started, for example, giving large amounts of grants to school for free education, suddenly every Tom, Dick and Harry was interested in the Parent Teacher Association with access to funds. We similarly find that in sporting organizations.
The minister says the idea of subscription to transparency will ensure everybody gets a fair say and that their say is actually represented in the final outcome. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
The Fiji Roads Authority and Suva City Council have announced changes to the road usage in and around the newly opened Stinson Parade Bridge. General Manager Network Operations and Maintenance Aram Goes says only minor traffic flow is expected through Usher Street and must exit via the slip lane. The changed layout means that buses and trucks cannot enter through Usher Street, and this also includes no buses down Edward Street. The bus stop outside Burger King will also be temporarily closed. Go says the FRA regrets the inconvenience for buses entering from the port end of the city. The FRA says a long-term plan to further change and improve traffic flow through the central city has been prepared with SCC and will be implemented in due course. These includes the supermarket entrance on Usher Street being converted to a Suva City Council controlled car parking area over the coming weeks. The Education Ministry will work with bus companies to ensure that misuse of government-subsidised e-ticketing cards does not occur. Minister responsible, Ayaz Said Qayyum, says parents have been caught using their children's e-ticketing cards late at night. He says students will now be able to use these cards on specific days and during a certain time frame.
We have worked out with the bus companies that from Monday to Saturday, they can use their cards. The students can use their cards. That is the blue card. And from any time between 5 a.m. and 7 p.m. This will be implemented over the next couple of weeks to ensure that all the ticketing machines actually comply with that. So it won't be able to read it after 7 p.m.
5 youths from around the country have been given $20,000 each to launch the Young Entrepreneurship Scheme. The entrepreneurs will be eligible for the grant after a month of business mentorship through the YES program. Ali Kimbia reports.
While handing over the certificates to the recipients last night, Prime Minister Burenge Bainimarama highlighted the government's effort to support young people and provide resources they need to grow, to become educated and be more ambitious.
Our work is filling the most talented and competent workforce in Fijian history. Young people equipped with the know-how to succeed in the modern marketplace, with the confidence that they can achieve greatness. They have familiarity with the technological tools that are shaping the way consumers operate in the modern marketplace.
Bainimarama says government will continue to give young people the opportunity they deserve.
We want our young people to do more than sit at the same desk in the same offices that we use today. Our youth should not only be job seekers, but they also need to be job creators that provide their fellow Fijians with new and exciting opportunities.
For the young entrepreneurs, the dream of giving life to their ambitious business dreams is now a reality.
It will give us the opportunity to upgrade our lifestyle, give us better lifestyle, give us better opportunities. And for me, it will give me the opportunity to establish myself in the entrepreneurship scheme.
It will be benefit on me, my family, and my village, and all my relatives.
The 5 young entrepreneurs were selected by the scheme judging panel, which involves businessmen and women from the private sector. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
FBC News would like to apologize for an incorrect quote used in a story last night. During the story on voter education program being part of their curriculum for Year 10 students, we quoted the Education Minister Ayaz Said Qayyum, saying that students can impart this knowledge to their parents and elderly people, since most of them do not really understand the electoral system. However, this quote should have been as follows.
Understand, these students, it's not only for them. If you go to various communities, they are the ones who actually impart knowledge to their parents, to their grandparents. When people sit around and talk, as you know, people in their 30s and 40s, in particular now with social media, have a tendency of, rumor mongering, have a tendency of spreading false information. And these young people are the ones who can actually correct them. We found this exactly in the budgetary processes. When we started 2 years ago having budget consultations with high school students, I was informed subsequently that many people sit around the grog bowl and talk about, Fiji's debt is this much, it's bigger than USA. These young people are actually correcting them, giving them the right information. So these young people are actually what I call the ambassadors of the truth, ambassadors of those people who actually believe in the system and will actually ensure that the system is known by everybody else.
FBC News would like to apologize for any inconvenience caused. Ahead in sports with Jamie, Jack's Fiji supplies sporting gears at tomorrow's FRU Provincial 10s, but we now join Akosita Tale for the latest in business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening. Coming up, international passengers increase in 2017, and in growing Fiji, LTA opens new Suva office. Stay with us.
Moala radada ranalika au tikongona taunu singatoka andou talitaka na wakaronga na Bull FM number 2 na serre.
We adora chubuli kurnambili Ibora ni batukara hambara binaranga. Total takina na warronga ng Bula FM. Number 2 NSR. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 NSR.
Leading business tonight, the number of passengers on international flights in and out of Fiji in the third quarter of 2017 increased by 3.3% over the previous quarter. This was revealed by the Fiji Bureau of Statistics in their aircraft statistics for December last year. International flights utilized in the third quarter ending in September stood about 4 out of 5 of the passenger seats available during that period. Also, a 3.5% increase in the load factor was recorded last year in the September quarter compared to the same period in 2016. We now join Sharon from HFC Bank with the latest in the stock market.
Thank you. Let's see what's making headlines in the financial markets today. The US dollar extended its losses after producer prices fell for the first time in nearly 1.5 years in December. Also, the initial jobless claims for the week ended January 5th came at 261,000. It's the highest reading in 3 months against an expected 250,000. However, the traditional safe haven gold failed to take advantage of weaker US dollar due to upbeat performance of major equity indexes. Boosted by positive market sentiment, at the end of the day, the finance-heavy Dow Jones was up 205.6 points, the S&P 500 added 19.33 points, and the Nasdaq Composite gained 58.21 points. The week is set to end on a high note, with the US publishing its inflation data tomorrow morning. And all of this is expected to have some influence on our Fiji dollar. And that's all for now. See you next week.
Thanks, Sharon. Now looking at today's currency exchange rate set this morning for the Fijian dollar, the dollar rose against most of the currencies we cover but dropped slightly against the Aussie and Kiwi dollars as well as the euro. On the commodities market, oil was down slightly at $63.54 a barrel. Gold rose about $7 to $1,324.15 per ounce, while silver also rose 1 cent to $17 an ounce. Fijians can now access LTA services in the heart of Suva following the opening of a new branch at the FNPF Downtown Boulevard today. The services offered includes payment of vehicle inspection and vehicle registration fees, driver's license renewal, payments of traffic infringements, search records, and accident compensation commission motor vehicle levy collection.
There is a huge demand for LTA services as the public continues to invest in the transport sector.
On average, the Vallejo office of LTA serves more than 300 customers per day. So LTA services in the heart of the city makes things so much easier for the public.
LTA Board Chair Vijay Maharaj says reaching out to their customers is a core objective for the authority this year.
Part of this strategy is to provide more efficient, customer-friendly and accessible services for vehicle registration and driver licensing to the people of Fiji.
Suva-based customers will no longer have to travel far to access LTA services.
For us, especially the customers here, and rather than going all the way to Valley Level, I think it would be a good opportunity for us to come here.
It's good now for people living here in Suva. It's to come here, not coming again to Valley Level. Yeah, it's good.
It's easy and it's good because if we go right to Valley Level, it's a bit far, so it's good. It's in the city. It's more easier for us.
More LTA offices are expected to open in other parts of the country, while the existing ones will be refurbished to improve customer service. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
And that's business this evening. Now to sports. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Thank you, Akasita, and good evening in sports tonight. Inaugural FRU 10s competition set for kickoff tomorrow. And 98 athletes to represent Team Fiji at Commonwealth Games. This and more coming up.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची FM सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची FM is number 1. It's so hot.
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची FM सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची FM is hot.
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेकी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची FM सुनते हैं। मिर्ची FM is hot. I love मिर्ची FM.
हमें इस भी पता हुआ कि मिर्ची FM में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Jaxo Fiji is backing the inaugural Fiji Rugby Union Provincial Tens Tournament that will be held at the Bidisi Ground in Suva tomorrow. The company has signed on as the main sponsor of the event. Today, 7 provincial teams were given playing kits for the tournament. Fiji Rugby CEO John O'Connor thanked the Jaxo Fiji for coming on board in the hour of need for an event the union plans to build on next year.
This is the inaugural tournament. Next year we are hoping to have a bigger tournament involving all the teams in participating in the Skipper Cup and Vodafone Championship. We hope to make it bigger and use it as we are doing now as a selection for our team to the Brisbane Global Tens.
Fiji will send one of its biggest squads to the Commonwealth Games 2018 edition in April. As Meli Tavanga reports, Team Fiji is expected to take a contingent of 144 people, 98 athletes and 46 coaches and officials.
Led by Chef de Mission Patrick Bao, Team Fiji will compete in 12 sports at the April Games.
We're expecting them to make good use of what the government has invested, what FASANOC has invested in them, and the nation has invested in them.
There are also others who are expected to be part of Team Fiji.
We have the Olympians Matalita Mbuandromo from swimming. We have Winston Hill from boxing, Saramai Tuwai from rugby, Sally Yee from table tennis, Manuelit from weightlifting.
Bao says this is a great exposure for our athletes as they'll compete against opponents from other 69 Commonwealth countries.
Having said before, it's great competition. There's a lot of athletes from various cultures and from so many countries around the world.
Team Fiji General Manager Christopher Yee says they have limited time and they need to be up to par with their training.
Again, you know, we have a very short time and everybody's building up to it, and I think that there's a lot of asking from the people of Fiji, and hopefully that this team will do very well.
Fiji will compete in athletics, badminton, beach volleyball, boxing, lawn bowls, netball, rugby, shooting, squash, swimming, table tennis and weightlifting. The Commonwealth Games run through the 4th to the 15th of April. Melitawanga, FBC Sports.
The Fiji National Sports Commission has confirmed its appointed international coaches for Fiji yachting and surfing. Commission Chief Executive Peter Mazie says funding for international coaches isn't limited to major sports.
Funding all the international coaches that are here. I don't have any indication just yet of any new ones, but we've just appointed the international coach for yachting. Yachting we're doing very well also. We have one for surfing, another sport we're doing well, so everybody thinks the international coaching is just rugby, but it's not.
In the first round of the 2018 Vodafone Premier League, Rewa will host Suva while Mba takes on Nandi at Churchill Park. The Men in Black and the capital city side have maintained the IDC semi-final teams from last year and anticipate tough matches away this weekend. Eroni Tuinuku reports.
Picked up quickly by Simeone Tamini.
Zimba football team has one goal this year, and that is to be back at the top in local football.
We started our training 2 weeks ago, and we're still training with the same boys, those who have played our last IDC with the very young and youth boys.
Fiji football president Rajesh Patel says the league gets tougher and exciting every year.
Any Premier League in any country is the most important football league that you can play in. Tournaments are there, it's for the weekend and one weekend and it goes. The league continues for the whole year pretty much, and the best team that survives and the best players that are there and conditioned to it and listens to the coaches and develops it well are the ones that survives in the end in the top two.
Newly appointed interim coach for Suva, Riaz Ali, is happy with the turnouts of the players and is confident of a good outing this weekend.
There's a good set of boys from last year, so it's a privilege to be part of the Suva team with a good set of boys this year coming back. Nobody has left, and these boys are back again, so I'm hoping for a good outcome this year.
Suva plays Rewa at 3 p.m. at Ratu Thakombau Park in Nausori, while Nandi plays Mba at Prince Charles Park and Lautoka takes on Tavua at Churchill Park. All the league matches will be played on Sunday. Eroni Tuinuku, FBC Sports.
Professional tennis player Roger Federer says he's living the dream as he prepares to defend his Australian Open crown. That's it from Sports Tonight. Angie joins you later on with weather and in new media. Check out what Roku has planned for its line of smart speakers. That's coming up.
Radio Fiji One and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo tikola ang talita na Radio Fiji One na Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuyaga sila tale. Naguraramay na omani. Nando nga. Gitu talita gini ang gitu pinasibale. Nagudurong barong na Radio Fiji One na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji One na Domoy Viti na ponga ni BNN.
TCL, the fastest growing TV brand in North America, is partnering with manufacturers to build a new line of speakers and soundbars along with the new Roku voice assistant. It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello to you and to the weekend. It's Friday in the Hood. We all love Fridays because it brings us the weekend. So let's quickly roll and check what the day was like around the country. Looking in the west, quite cloudy, and all this cloudiness will bring about rain tonight. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, a mix between sun and rain. Well, rain will have victory over Friday as there is indications of more rain later tonight. And up north, this side was mostly cloudy as well. Expect heavy showers overnight. At sea, southeast winds 20 to 25 knots with rough seas. And for the tides, low tide tonight will be at 10:32 with high tide tomorrow morning at 4:49. Sunrise will be at 6:41. For tomorrow, it's the shopping day, precisely back to school shopping, and you might want to take your umbrellas along with you as there is forecast of showers throughout. Tomorrow's temps, Lautoka will be warm with a high of 31 degrees. And looking further onto Sunday, I guess we're in for a wet weekend. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fijian Pulse today, we asked, do you want another Super Rugby match in Fiji this year?
Yes, because I love watching Super Rugby. And there are a lot of Fijian boys playing there.
Yes, Fiji should host more rugby players so it can help local players in Fiji.
I think Fiji should host lots of Super Rugby matches because so we can get to meet the rugby players for those who can't travel to overseas.
Yes, it will bring a lot of money to Fiji.
Yeah, sure, we should. Yeah, because it will bring in economy to Fiji, tourists coming in, and we show Fiji off to the world.
We now people, we want rugby in Fiji. Super Rugby, yeah, we like it to come to Fiji.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, a poor elephant was left miserable thanks to a mammoth toothache, but he was soon back in top shape thanks to a visit from a zoo dentist. Recapping the main stories, $70 million for Lami Nausori road upgrades. FTUC March aims to be peaceful. And ATS management maintains staff not locked out. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question this week, we are asking, should officers who abuse police vehicles be charged? Visit our FBC website to answer. Now, before we go, our shot of the day, sent in by Venina Volao. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News, or you can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Bye for now.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kuminasong futbola, ndo tali taka na Radio Fiji 1 kina Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuyago sila tali, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu tali tajiri ang gitu Venezuela, nagundurong barong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.